everybody, it is your boy, Amon's Toxic Ammo through the one. Back at it with another video. And today, we are going to be doing my August 2023 monthly check. And if you guys do not know what my August 2023 monthly check is, and if you're new to the channel, it's basically where I rank the movies I've seen this month from the worst to the best. So movies on streaming and theaters, and also movies I've never seen before that other people have seen. And also after that, we do my overhaul, which is new stuff that I got this month. Most of them is birthday stuff, and then yeah. The final thing we do as well is show new pictures on the ceiling. So because I always draw 2 pictures or whatever, and I do have 2 pictures this time. I didn't have any last time, but I do this time. So yeah. But before we get into the actual video itself, guys, if you are indeed new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, because number 1, it's absolutely free. Number 2, we're on the road to 400 subscribers, just 80 away now. Really, how about you, boy, if you did subscribe? It also goes for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to like the video if you do like my toxic monthly checks. Don't forget to ring the bell for all notifications and notification when I upload. Also do share the video because it also help me out. We can have some more people join that toxic fam, and do feel free to comment your list down below as well. Excuse me, I just burped. So this month I had a total of 11 movies that I watched, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them were new releases, and then 1, 2, well, I can just do the math in my head, 4 of them were movies at home that I watched for the first time ever. So yeah. But with that being said, let's just kick off this list, man. So coming in last place for me is going to be the straight to Netflix animated movie The Monkey King. And I do not blame you if you guys didn't know that this was coming out. So let's just get the big positive out of the way first. The animation is stunning and it looks really beautiful. And there's also a specific sequence with they change the animation up and make it sort of arty, and I like that. But besides from that, that can't even save this movie. This movie I did not like whatsoever. It's right now my least favorite movie of the year so far, probably. Just the main protagonist, the main monkey dude, is unlikable, I think, as a main protagonist. He does a lot of jerky stuff. What other stuff happens in here? And it's forgettable. It's forgettable. I can't even remember what happens in this movie. Also, this is a movie you've seen before. Literally, this is like the Paws of Fury movie, which was ripping off other stuff too. So this is literally like that movie here, and it's just, and there's also, what other stuff? It's too kiddie. I was expecting it to be sort of more, I knew it was PG, but I was expecting it to be at least a little bit more dark. There is some dark moments, but only one, and the rest is comedic. And it's a shame. This is my least favorite movie of the year so far, and the only movie I probably gonna give an F, even though animation is stunning and the actual art sequence that they change into is good. This is the only movie that I have as an F this year. Coming in at number 10, not far behind that, is Heart of Stone. Heart of Stone, I will give credit, because I think that acting is decent. It's nothing too amazing or whatever. The fight choreography is actually quite good. And also the, would I say that's it? I would say that's it. Probably fight choreography is good, acting is decent, and yeah, that's it. As for negatives go, this is another generic movie, just like how The Monkey King was. But this movie has a twist that I didn't see coming, but I didn't really think was that really big of a twist anyways. The action sequences itself, that isn't fight choreography, I've seen those many before, and I don't think they're really that good. What other stuff? This just feels like a straight to Netflix movie to get content out there on Netflix, and, yeah, that's why I didn't really like it that much, so, yeah. Coming in at number 9, I have I would say from here on up, these movies would be good or decent, I would probably say. So, coming in at number 9, I have the 1953 Western movie, Shane. Which you guys are probably going like, why'd you watch this? I have this class in school called Movies as Literature, where I watch movies and then, like, I write an essay or paper on them, such and such. And this is one of the movies I watched. I actually watched it twice to get my fresher thoughts on it. And I think this movie, it's not personally for me, but I think it's decent. Like, I think most people that love Westerns would love this movie. The main dude that plays Shane in here, I think does a great job. He has a very unique characteristic and a good little screen presence, I think, and then a likable screen presence, if that makes sense. Also, the main bad guy, I think, was a little bit underwhelming in this movie, but he was really great as the villain. I'm pretty sure he got an Oscar for this as well, for his performance as the villain. So that proves that villains don't have to just have 10 minutes of screen time and they'll still get the Oscar, if that made sense. Yeah. As for my flaws with the movie, the main kid is annoying during some certain scenes. I forgot what his name was. Jimmy, I think. I think that's the little kid's name. And also, I thought the mom was really annoying at some certain sequences, too. It's just, eh. But, yeah, decent. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's been like a few weeks since I've seen it, so that's why it comes in at number 9. Now, coming in at number 8, I have the other movie, which I watch for Movies as Literature class, and that is Friendly Persuasion. And this is an interesting one. So, Psycho fans and Swiss Family Robinson fans. This has Norman Bates in it before he even became Norman Bates. I forgot what the actor's name was. My mind's not as fresh on it. But as the actor that played Norman Bates in Psycho in here, and I believe he got an Oscar for that, was nominated for an Oscar for this. So also has the mom from the 1960, I'm pretty sure it's 1960 version of Swiss Family Robinson in here as the mom as well. And I enjoyed this a little bit more than Shane, because Shane sort of keeps this, it doesn't really keep a entertaining tone, if that makes sense, because westerns are usually slow. There's some westerns that I love that are slow, like Magnificent Seven, the remake. I love that. And for this one, I think this one's not fast-paced, but it's good pacing. I thought that the beginning of the movie where they go to a festival, I liked that part where basically the youngest is gambling, the daughter is dancing with a person she has a crush on, that's a soldier, that he likes her as well, and then the oldest son, which is Norman Bates from Psycho, he's not boxing, his friend's boxing, and he's spectating. Not boxing, sorry, wrestling. I miscalculated there. As for my only negative for this movie, I think that it doesn't explore the more darker side of war much. It does, but it doesn't explore it like to its full extent, I believe. But when it explores it, it is done very, very well. I don't really have anything negative to say about this movie. It's just I don't know if I'll ever rewatch it again because it's just It's some old school movies. I'll put it this way: some old school movies I love to rewatch. Like, for example, Wizard of Oz. For example, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Singing in the Rain is another one I love to rewatch. I love that movie. 12 Angry Men, that is in my top 30 favorite movies of all time, even though I've only watched it once. I'll try to rewatch it again here soon. But, yeah, that's why I wouldn't go back on it much. Coming in at number 7, I have Meg to the Trench. Yes, it's bad, but I had a fun time with this. I'm one out of 3 YouTubers I've heard, like, kind of give the Meg to the Trench a positive review. Not positive, but enjoyable review. So, the Meg to the Trench, now looking back on it, I enjoyed it a little bit when I went to go see it. I thought it was good. It's bad, but it knows it's bad, so that makes it a positive. Also, as for my negatives for this movie, it does take a little while before, like, for the Megs to become the main villain of the movie, because it explores these underwater creature things. I don't know how to explain them, but they're also kind of dinosaurs too. It also explores a giant squid, which you see in the trailers, and I would say this one you should watch with a group of friends. It's not great. Like I said, it's bad, but it's enjoyably bad. And I don't hate it as much as other people do. I had a kick out of this one. Coming in at number 6, I had a movie that I watched for the first time, surprisingly, and that is Wonder Woman 1964. Wonder Woman 1964 I had never seen. I meant not 1964. It's supposed to be 84. What the heck? Yeah, I watched it for the first time, and I think it's Jackson Ace were making it seem. If you guys do not know who Jackson Ace are, they're based on they're 2 of my friends, and they were making this out to be one of the worst movies, comic book movies of all time. I wouldn't go that far, because there is some stuff that I really enjoyed about this movie. Probably the most one that popped up in my head right now is Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. Even though this is a more comedic take on that character, Pedro Pascal acts wonderfully as him. The relationship between Steve and Wonder Woman, I think, they do a good job of exploring it yet again as well. What other stuff can I think of as for positives for this movie? I think that for the 80s aesthetic, they do a good job on making it seem, for example, oh, it's the actual 80s. As for negatives of the movie, I think the beginning is very weak. It's a flashback to Diana when it was a kid. It feels as if it's something from Harry Potter. That's what at least I thought. How they bring Steve Trevor back, I think, is weird, and I don't necessarily hate it, but I think it's kind of a lazy writing a little bit. The character of Cheetah, how they use her in this, I think the actress that plays her is Kristen Wiig. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. It's just the generic plot line, how the person got jealous of the superhero and got disappointed, basically, so they want to kill the superhero. And as I think that's pretty much all that I can think of this. Oh, another negative. Way too long. This movie is 2 hours and 30 minutes, which, oh my gosh, most movies nowadays are 3 hours long, or almost 3 hours long. So, that's my thoughts on it. I didn't think it was overall bad. I had a decent time with it. Will I ever rewatch it again? No, probably not. 5th place, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I'm trying to do a vampire thing. Last Voyage of the Demeter was really good, solid vampire movie. It's very slow. If you're not into those slow-based vampire movies, this one you probably should skip on. I would say this is a streamable movie. I thought some of the practical effects and CGI effects were really great for this film and for Dracula, which I did not know that Dracula was actually played by an actual person in the movie. I thought that the suit that they used was very intimidating as Dracula. The kills are bloody and good, really good. I wish they did a little bit more with those kills, but they did good with what they were given. They also add a unique spin with how they, this one, I'm not going to go into details, but Dracula is a little bit different in this film when he bites people. That's all I'm saying. Some certain people. What other stuff did I thoroughly enjoy about this movie? And the lore. The lore of Dracula, even though it's a tiny bit of lore that they explored, I thought they did really good on it. As for negatives, it can be slow. It can be very slow, as I said before. What other things did I not like about it? The ending kind of sets up a sequel, which I don't think will happen. So, and I was gonna I don't think it will. If the movie does well, I would be down for it, but apparently I've looked it up. It's a box office bomb right now, which is unfortunate. Another positive as well that comes to mind is the main actor, Corey Hawkins, I believe that's what his name is. I thought he did great in this as well. And yeah, I would say stream it. It's very decent vampire movie. Okay, I would say from here on up, these movies I love or I think are really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. 4th place, it is going to be Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle has always been one of my top 5 favorite comic book characters ever since I watched him in Batman the Brave and the Bold when I was a kid. And when I heard that they were making a movie, I was kind of excited, but when I was excited but hesitant at the same time because I didn't really have the best relationship with the DCEU at the time. Starting out with the positives for this movie, Xolo Marijuana, I think that's the actor's name, does great as Blue Beetle in this movie, and I hope to see more of him. Also, I thought the family dynamic was very strong and very powerful in this movie. How they deal with stuff. The CGI I was expecting to be bad because of The Flash. And the CGI, well, some shots were kind of not really that good CGI. Most of the time, the CGI was great. I didn't expect to love the CGI as much. The transformation sequence for Blue Beetle I also really loved. As for negatives of the movie, the villains are very, very weak and one-dimensional characters, especially Ted Kord's sister. I thought she was very one-dimensional, even though it was well acted. And the other negative is, this is more of a minor negative. I wish they kind of explored the relationship between Blue Beetle and the suit more, because that is a key, what's the word? A key thing. I'll just say key thing because I can't think of the word right now. A key opponent. That's what I meant to say. A key opponent of the Blue Beetle character, because them two have a very good relationship. So, yeah, and some people might think this is generic. If you're wanting something different from the comic book universe, this isn't really different. But that's not a negative of mine. That's a negative for other people. But, With that being said, I loved Blue Beetle, and it was one of the biggest surprises of the year for me. Third place, I'm going to put Gran Turismo. And it depends. Maybe my minds might switch between these two movies. I loved both of them equally. Gran Turismo, I've never played the video games whatsoever, and I've never heard the real life story that this is based on. And I thought the acting was great. The main person that in this movie that plays the main character, as I is great and phenomenal. Honestly, this might be my own perspective, but honestly, it might be Oscar potential. I don't know, that in my personal opinion. What other stuff? The racing sequences were excellent, and they added some stuff from the video games during those racing sequences, which I thought fit well. David Harbour, most known for Stranger Things as Hopper, does a great job in here as sort of the mentor role, where he is basically a retired race car driver, and he's trying to help the main character become a successful race car driver. Orlando Bloom's character I thought was good. He acted good, but I wish we got more of him. We got a decent amount of him, but I wish we got more. As for negatives of the movie, there's some certain sequences during not the actual racing stuff that they add some stuff from the video games, and I don't think that meshes well with those scenes. Also, I wish they could have further explored the relationship between him and his father a little bit more, and also him and his girlfriend a little bit more. But with that being said, I loved Gran Turismo. I thought it was really good. Coming in at number 2, I have no flaws with this movie whatsoever, by the way. And this was neck and neck. If you would have asked me at the beginning of this month, this would have been my favorite movie of this month, but I changed my mind. And that is going to be M. Night Shyamalan's Split. This was the first time I ever watched it. I knew the big twist going into it. I'm not spoiling it here today, because just in case if you guys haven't seen it. James McAvoy was absolutely phenomenal in this role. How he can switch different roles, per instance, playing a kid, playing a woman, playing a germaphobe, and playing himself, and then playing the monster. I thought he did phenomenal, and probably should have won the Oscar that year. I think he's that great. Anya Taylor-Joy in here was also another good character that you root for, where she's one of the girls trapped. I thought she was very cheerable, and you wanted to see win. Also has a lot of suspenseful sequences, and there's a bunch of routes that this movie takes that I really loved. So nothing negative to say about this. I thought Split was amazing. Now, coming in at number 1, this was tough. This was really, really tough. But I'm going to put TMNT Mutant Mayhem. I gave this a B+ when I saw it, and now I would give it an A- because I changed my mind. I don't know what I was thinking giving it a B+ or Toxic Goodness for my viewers who have been watching me for a while. This is the only TMNT movie that they explore the teenage aspect of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I thought they did a great job with that. The voice cast was really good. How they explored the relationship between them is kind of like what they did in real life. They did really good with that. The animation is really good, except for some of the human characters, except for April, because it makes them look like they're high. So, the Jackie Chan as Master Splinter, another positive, perfect casting. There's also some mutants that they add in here, which are really memorable, and I love how they added them. But I wish they kind of used some a little bit more. Mostly Rocksteady, voiced by John Cena, and Bebop. Probably the other ones get used quite frequently. And overall, as a TMNT fan, I loved TMNT Mutant Mayhem. But with that being said, that is the list part of the video. Now let's move on to my overhaul, which I got a big overhaul this month because at the beginning of this month, it was my birthday. So, at the beginning of August because we're in September now. But, okay. All right, I'm going to start with movies that I took. So, let me see here. So, first two movies that I took were Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, and Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. These are the only two Pirates movies I love. I like Pirates of the Caribbean. I forgot the last one was called. Dead Men Tell No Tales. Yeah, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I liked that one. At World's End, I think is okay, but it's way too long. And then I do not like Stranger Tides. Then we got the 4K of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness right there. Definitely better than the first movie, and a little bit underwhelming though. I wish there was a little bit more cameos, but otherwise, fun time. And Sam Raimi did direct that quite masterfully. Oh, this movie. Rat Race. If you guys do not know what Rat Race is, it is my favorite comedy of all time. This is hilarious. This has a star-studded cast with Whoopi Goldberg, Rowan Atkinson, John Cleese, Cuba Gooding Jr., Seth Green. Those are the most people I know, and I love this. This is absolutely hilarious. Funny story. I remember, I think it was at the beginning of this year, I think in like February probably, I showed this to my Jackson Ace for the first time and they died laughing. So I loved this. Then we got the Mission Impossible 6 movie collection. I already had the 5 movie collection and Mission Impossible Fallout single Blu-ray, so I switched them out and gave those to my dad and gave the 6 movie collection to myself so I can have a little bit more room on my shelves. So, then we got completing the Planet of the Apes trilogy with Rise that I got earlier. I have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. Probably the best 2 out of the 3 movies, but all of them are great of the trilogy. So yeah. And then we have Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. 4K. This one was a big surprise when it came out. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. I might even like that more than the original. I know that might be a hot take, but it was really fun and I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. So, yeah. Now on to stuff that were gifted to me for my birthday or I bought with my birthday money. We'll save the movies for last. Well, technically, this was just gifted to me, by the way. Not for my birthday, but Yo Gabba Gabba. Do not ask why. I did not want this, really. Don't, Dad, if you're watching this, sorry. But I have it. I used to watch it as a kid, so. Alright, so I got some Jurassic socks. My sister gave me this. It says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park," right there. If you can read that, and then it has the red logo right there. Other sock goes for the same. And also I got these other Jurassic socks, which is Mr. DNA socks from Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time. So then I got some Toxic Waste and mac and cheese gummies from my sister as well. I've tried Toxic Waste before. It's not really that tough. Like, it starts out being really tough to survive, but as it grows, it doesn't become that thing. And I've been meaning to eat this for Fortnite Punishment Thursdays because I do not really want to try this, and I don't want it to taste cheesy. So I'll probably eat this. I will try to eat this next Thursday, and also if this isn't gross, I'll eat a bunch of the Toxic Waste to make my mind go. And then the final thing that my sister gave me for my birthday is the movie superhero guide book. It tells the history of movies all the way up to Avengers Endgame, I believe. And it does a whole lot of behind the scenes and sort of hidden gem superhero movies as well. And there's the back as well. And yeah. Now on to the movies that I got for my birthday with my birthday money as well. We'll save the big one for last. The one, okay. So I got Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for 4K for my birthday as a last minute surprise on my actual birthday. My dad gave this to me, which I'm super happy. This can be complete the Guardians trilogy. Beautiful send off. Honestly, no negatives that I can think of right now. That I come up with negatives in the review? I can't remember. I love this. This movie was great. Probably in my top 10 this year. John Wick Chapter 4 4K. Have been asking for this for months now, and I can complete the John Wick 4 collection. This movie is my favorite movie of the year right now. And I know it's a hot take, but it might be in my top 30 favorite movies of all time. Best action I have ever seen to put to film. Now movies I bought. We got the Lights Out Blu-ray. Lights Out is really, really good. It was definitely unique at the time before movies kind of started being similar to it. Boogeyman, which Boogeyman was good, but still, this kind of did that plotline first, and there's bunch of creepy jump scares. I remember I was showing, hello Jax, I know you're watching this somewhere maybe. I showed Jax and Ace this for the first time, and this was the one where Jax was actually scared and he was hiding under the blankets whenever the music started slowing down. I was like, okay then, I'll talk about this for a bunch of time. Probably my third favorite horror movie of all time, and that is The Lost Boys, Thou Shalt Not Blame. I forgot how the rest of the song goes. I actually rewatched this month with the 4K, and I think it is a very great vampire movie, and it's not as dark as the other ones, but it's really, really great, and a product of the 80s. And Kiefer Sutherland does a great job as the head vampire in that. I loved that. Then I got the Apollo 13 4K, which this was really cheap. It was like under 10, I think $5, which shocked me. I already had the DVD of Apollo 13. I wanted an upgrade, so I got the 4K of Apollo 13 and gave the DVD to my dad. And this is, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't comment on it. I know it might be a shock to some people. Then, for my final one, my second favorite movie of all time, and my first ever 4K Steelbook, Scream, 1996, the original. I love this movie. My favorite horror movie of all time. Just look at how beautiful that this 4K Steelbook is. That's the inside right there, and then also... And this was really cheap too, surprisingly. Not like drastically cheap, but usually 4K Steelbooks are usually sold for $30 or up. Usually $35 or $40. And I saw this was on Amazon and it was $22.99. I saw it as a steal and I immediately copped it. So this is probably my favorite thing that I got this month. My first ever 4K Steelbook. I'll try to get more of those. Also, we have some posters. Here, I'll show you. I only have 2 other things that I can show you right here. Then we'll do the picture thing or whatever. So we have a poster right there. Is it hard to see? I think it is hard to see. So we're going to do transition here. Transition on Shazam! I have a poster right here that came with a book collection, which I'll show you in just a second. So transition yet again. So this is the FNAF books right here that came with that. I can't wait to read these because I'm a big FNAF fan. Probably will attempt to read these before the movie comes out. I also got this as well, recording in progress sign, so I can put that on my door when I'm filming. So yeah, and then as for the final thing I got an on-air sign. Isn't that really cool? I got this from Caleb, and if you guys do not know who Caleb is, I used to do Fall Guys videos with him, so shout out to my boy Caleb. And as for the final thing we have to do, we have pictures on the ceiling, so I'll show you those. Transformers right here, Transformers Rise of the Beast, which I drew. Doesn't that look cool? Doesn't that look cool? And then I also have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as well. So I only have 2, unfortunately, so yeah. With that being said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this August 2023 monthly check. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number 1, it's absolutely free. Number 2, we're on the road to 400 subscribers, just 80 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. That also goes for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to like the video if you do like my toxic monthly checks. Don't forget to ring the bell for all notifications and notification when I upload. Also, do share the video because it'll also help me out. We can have some more people join that toxic fam. And do feel free to comment as well. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Peace out.